All right, today we're diving into a scholarship that's, well, a little different. It's called the Open Doors Scholarship, and it's a competition-based way to study for free in Russia. Let's bust some myths.
So, if you've ever even looked at an international scholarship application, you know the grind, right? That constant pressure for a sky high GPA, the stress of booking and passing an IELTS exam, and then digging up a mountain of financial documents. It's exhausting.
But what if there was a scholarship that just skipped all that? One that didn't really care about your grades from 3 years ago, but instead focus on what you know right now and how badly you want it.
Well, that's pretty much the Open Doors Scholarship in a nutshell. It's not an application you fill out, it's an academic competition you win. It's sponsored by the Russian government, and the prize is a 100% tuition waiver at some of Russia's best universities. And big news, it now covers bachelor's degrees too, on top of master's and PhDs.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about why this is such a different path. Then we'll compare it to the other big Russian scholarship. We'll get into the good and the bad, what you need to apply, how to actually pass the exams, and finally, where you could end up studying. All right, let's kick things off with what makes this scholarship a real game changer. We're about to bust some of the biggest myths about what it takes to study abroad. Okay, this is the slide that makes everyone do a double take. Get this. You do not need an IELTS or any other English test. There's no minimum CGPA. Seriously, as long as you passed, you're in the running. Forget about bank statements or proving your family's finances. You can even apply while you're in your final year of study, before you even have your degree in hand.
Now, this is super important because a lot of people get these two mixed up. Russia has two main scholarships for international students, and you really need to know the difference.
So when you put them side by side, it becomes really clear. Open Doors is for students from anywhere in the world, and it's all about passing the exams. Plus, and this is a huge plus, you can submit all your documents in English. The other one, the government scholarship, is country-based, has no exam, but you need to get everything professionally translated into Russian. So, bottom line, Open Doors is about what you know. The other is a more traditional paper-based application.
Look, no scholarship is perfect for everyone. So let's get real about what you get with this one and what you're going to have to cover yourself.
The pros are pretty amazing. Number one, obviously, is the 100% tuition coverage. That's huge. You also get a monthly stipend. It's not a lot, but it helps. You can opt for a free year-long Russian language course before you start your degree, and you'll have the legal right to work part-time, which is a big deal for covering your costs. But you've got to be prepared for the cons. Your housing is on you. So is your plane ticket to get there, and every year you'll need to pay for your visa renewal and health insurance. Oh, and yeah, the Russian winter, it's not just a stereotype. You're going to need a really, really good coat. So, think you've got what it takes? Awesome. Let's walk through exactly what you need to do to get your application in and get ready to compete. The schedule is pretty predictable. Things usually open up in early September. You'll want to mark your calendar for the deadlines, usually late November for bachelor's and master's applicants, and a bit later in December for PhD candidates. Then the exams happen over the winter, and you find out if you're a winner around March. The process itself is surprisingly simple. Step 1, get your basic documents together, like your passport and transcripts. And hey, if you don't have your passport ready, you can usually start the process with just your national ID. Step 2, build your portfolio. This is where you add your achievements and pick up to 6 universities you'd like to attend. 3, submit everything online. And 4, the big one, start studying for those exams. And here's a golden nugget of advice from someone who actually won this scholarship. Your portfolio is your first impression. Adding things like relevant online courses or certificates can give you a real edge and make your profile stronger before the exams even begin. Okay, let's talk about the heart of this whole thing. This isn't about writing a touching essay. Your success or failure hinges entirely on how you perform in the exams. For bachelor's and master's applicants, it's a 2-stage fight. That's it. Just 2 hurdles between you and a free degree. For PhDs, there's a 3rd stage with an interview, but for most people, it's all about these 2 exams. So stage 1 is a mix of your portfolio score and an online multiple choice test. Honestly, this first test is the easier part. You can take it a few times, and you can even use Google to help find answers. But if you pass that, you get to stage 2. And this is the main event. It's a proctored exam in your specific subject, which means your camera is on, and it is way harder. This is where you have to prove you really know your stuff. So you ace the exams, you become a winner. What's the prize? Well, it's a spot at one of Russia's top-tier universities. Let's look at where you could actually be studying. As a winner, you get to choose from that list of up to 6 universities you put in your application. And we're not talking about small, unknown schools. These are some of the most respected, high-ranking research universities in the country. I mean, just look at this sample. You've got HSE University, which is an absolute powerhouse for economics. MIPT, which people call the Russian MIT for a reason. It's incredible for physics and engineering. You've got ITMO for cutting-edge IT and AI, and world-class medical schools like Moscow State. The options are seriously impressive. So, to wrap this all up, what are the 4 things you absolutely have to remember? 1, it's a competition based on your current knowledge, not your past grades. 2, it covers 100% of your tuition. 3, you got a plan and budget for your living costs and flights. And 4, this is your ticket to some truly world-class universities. At the end of the day, the Open Door Scholarship is asking a very different kind of question. It's not show us your report card, it's show us what you know. It's a chance to prove your skills right here, right now. So the only real question left is, are you ready to compete?